Hey friends, how are you? It's your old pal PeaceLoveMusic. Gonna do a little bit of a hangout session ahead of the 9 p.m. Eastern Time New Year's Eve broadcast, and we're just hanging out now. It looks like I got a visitor. Here's Landy. Oh, that doesn't look right. Hold on a second. Let me turn this music down a little bit. Hey, Landy, you here?
Hey, what's up? How you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. You're the first visitor for our pregame show.
Yeah, I saw the Restream channel link go live, and I was like, oh, wait, that's right. Peace is going to be doing some kind of streaming today. So I decided to jump in.
Well, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. So the way it broke down was I wasn't sure, what we were going to do. We were talking about doing different things, and, people have different things going on. Obviously, it's not necessarily a lot. A lot of people are out, especially the. I don't want to call them amateurs, but you know what I mean. So, we were originally talking about doing like this epic long, all like 8-hour stream, and I'm like, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. So we're going to do a little bit of part of the goal there was, so because we have such a global community in our ecosystem, I wanted to make sure that we were able to kind of celebrate with everybody, or that everyone had a chance to tune in. So, that's really where that idea came from. But it turns out there really wasn't a whole lot of takers that wanted to party on a live stream. So, at least at different times throughout the day. So we had talked to a number of people that are in our European and African and Staxi in Dubai, who are kind of around this time, but later is going to be too late for them. So this is really kind of that's why I decided to do the pregame. I was going to just do like 9 p.m. to midnight East Coast time, and I have a bunch of the guys coming on later to chat too. I know GPSC will be there, and Blockface will be there. Jack's coming on. I'm sure a bunch of other people, but I am expecting like Good Kitty and Reese and Staxi and some of those people that come in, like probably Nick from Bitcoin Live and whatnot, coming in the earlier session. We'll see. How is things with you, man?
Doing all right. I mean, it's the dad life at this point. New Year's is not for going out. New Year's is for hanging out with the family. And
here's my club soda that I'm drinking tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately I ended up sick after the wife and child got sick earlier in the month.
I would have expected. Yeah, it's kind of stuff going on too. Yeah. Well, you sound like you're mostly over it now.
Yeah. I mean, it's just hanging on for dear life kind of thing. But we were doing some traveling along the way as well. So, it's been busy this time of year, right? So
yeah, it's busy, and it's busy. There's a lot going on, especially if you're a market volatility guy.
Yeah, the markets have been fun to trade in, that's for sure. Never a dull moment there. And I think that kind of market volatility is going to start to wear some people out. I think that it has actually over the course of the past, I don't know, half month or so.
Really, it's like things have been waning very rapidly since the second week of December.
Yeah.
Our viewership numbers started to kind of go down, and it's just everywhere. The spaces are just less and less people.
People are busy.
Yeah, people
holidays. People are taking profits. They're celebrating. They're getting ready for the new year. They're getting ready for this incoming administration. No matter what side of the aisle they're on, they're positioning financially. People are positioning mentally. Some are in a much better mental state than others, as I saw throughout my travels this past month or so. But it's been, it's normal.
You know
That's the
what I'd
big
love to? Yeah, it's normal. It's normal. It's just, it's a little bit, for what we're doing, it's not helpful.
Yeah.
So, but it's, I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes that's where you get to kind of learn some of your processes better and stuff like that too. So we're always just building stuff out, but it's disappointing for some of the people that were looking for numbers. But
I mean, look, the numbers, they come with time, right? I mean, this is still a very new venture, right? And you're literally just got that really awesome website up and running with
it's too much. It's almost too much. Like, it's like, wow, Trip, you're crushing it here. And it's honestly it's crazy, right? We're brand new. We don't even know. Yeah, we're still just. I'm not worried about the numbers. I'm not.
Yeah.
I never was really. To be honest, it's just, I'm just trying to figure out how to do things and what to do and what not to do and all that stuff. And I really appreciate all the people that are joining and participating and watching. We still have a very loyal group of followers that do come on and or come on and visit or tune in. I mean, last week on a Friday with not a whole lot of notice, we still got like 400 people for Staxy's live stream for her launch. So I mean, it's not completely dead. So we'll see what happens after we're coming back next week strong. And there's so much to do as far as filling out the website, like getting that stuff, like the stuff I need to translate into there now that Trip set all that stuff up for us.
Well, it's interesting because that was a big surprise to me, because I figured oh, okay, yeah, they're going to build out a website. That takes a little while. And then all of a sudden Trip is like, no, here it is. What are you doing, bro? He just went
So I had asked your opinion about whether I needed a website, and your suggestion was focus on other things.
Yeah.
Because you can only do one thing at a time. Trip really, I didn't ask. He was just like, hey, I got the web address for you, because I had already had DeOrganized.com. He's like, I get DeOrganized.media for you. I'm going to do, he had his reasons and his explanation as to why it was beneficial to him too. And totally, just, and I was like, all about, yeah, of course, do whatever you can with it. And then that opened up the door to kind of all sorts of ideas of things we can actually do now. So, we're just building it out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like what he's been building. Obviously, coming in a little late and doing some of the stuff that I need to do for my show on the back end there, I realized that maybe there's a little disconnect with when I registered versus having admin privileges for certain shows. Because whoever creates the show is the only one that can do the scheduling the way that you do it.
You should be. Are you listed as the host on the show?
I might be now. I think Trip went through and figured it out. There's just little things like that, but when you go to the website,
you're the host on the show, you should be able to edit. Not everyone has admin privileges yet, because there's going to be hierarchy of admin privileges, I guess, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that takes time for Trip to kind of build out. And
absolutely.
Figure out what we want to do. But if I understand correctly, anyone who's a show host should be able to go in and edit episodes, add links, and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I can edit certain things. They just weren't taking effect. So I was gonna edit our Tuesday show, and I think because I think we're going on episode 7, not 8, because I think it still rolled along. Let me look at the shows. So if I go to the shows tab, I want to see if it had us down for. Yeah, see how it says that we were live on December 24th. I was trying to delete that one and move it to.
Oh, you might not be able. Well, you can probably change the date.
Well, yeah, these like I need to get rid of these 2 episodes, but it won't let me do anything with them, even though I'm the host.
Oh, is
So
there one set up for today and one set up for last
yeah.
week?
So if I go to my profile and I click on my shows, learn TA with Landy, markets, episodes, episode counter. So there's like just little things here and there for like, I can't select an actual calendar date. I can only select a day of the week and a time, a start time. So like that's one of the things that I was.
No, well, are you trying to edit the show or the episodes?
If I'm trying to edit the show, for instance, for upcoming episodes, like next Tuesday, I will be around, and I think you might be around as well, right?
I'm hoping to do a show. We'll talk more about it later in the week to make sure we have an episode title and all of that stuff, so I can do a little bit of.
I see. There's an action button for editing episodes, but if I wanted to edit the time and date, I wonder if I have to do it through the show. Because this looks like it's reoccurring. So there's a reoccurring time slot every day.
So on the show, when there's a time slot set, it's reoccurring.
Okay.
For the day and time. And then the episodes is where you can change the date and add the link from YouTube for that video and stuff like that.
Excellent. Okay. So I can nix the episode 7 and 8 here then.
Yeah, I think you can actually because
there were no episodes.
right.
7 and 8. Because the other one would have been today.
Shout out Paul Frederick says, "What's up?" Howdy, Paul.
What's up, Paul? It's good to see Paul. All the brilliant AI devs.
I should message Paul the link. Maybe he wants to come say hello. Paul's been on our shows before, or well, some guy named Oma has been on the shows. I guess I should say.
Oh, yeah. I don't know who that would be.
I'm gonna message you the link on X to join us. Don't feel obligated, but you're welcome to come chat.
Okay, cool. So then, yeah, this will just roll on with next week's episode. I wonder if it's gonna numerate it correctly, because it already did episode 7 and 8, but I deleted them. So I wonder what it's going to do what it's going to name the next episode. If it's going to be like episode 9 or if it's going to be episode 7. So we'll see. I really like the layout that he's got here going for DeOrganized Media on the website here. Looks really, really cool. And I'm going to have to ask him how I can add our previous episodes, because now there's just episode 5 and 6 from when he actually got the website launched and the scheduled through. I wonder if we can add the backlog of episodes.
Oh, it doesn't have the first few?
Yeah, no, not on the website.
Yeah, we can definitely add them. That's some of the stuff I'm supposed to be working on later this week while I'm not doing other shows.
And then I was looking through and I was thinking, like, what we could do is, link out to the DeOrganized for each episode. Once the YouTube link is live, if there was a way to scrape that API for that link right into the app. So like, okay.
What's up, Paul?
What's up, Paul?
How you doing?
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year. I'm sitting here watching LSU and Baylor.
Oh, how's it going?
LSU's kind of hurting Baylor right now. Second period, so. I'm not supporting either one of them. I'm a Notre Dame kind of guy. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Win or lose, good or bad, that kind of thing. I get my avatar done. Now I'll have a face. There you go.
Landy, what were you just saying about the site?
Site looks good.
Site looks great. One of the things that I have a suggestion, when the YouTube
an
link
API
goes
thing.
live, it gets imported right into that episode on the actual website as well.
We're working on. Trip's been in, so there's a Restream API that Trip's worked on a little bit, and then he told me he found. I don't know what he's done with it, and again, it's kind of like we're not sure how that's going to work down the line. So when I go in and I schedule an episode, it creates an event in YouTube for the live video.
Yeah.
So that's a shareable link, and that's the same link that it's going to be when you go to put it in afterwards. So that event creation we should be able to pull that and have that automatically populate into the episode. Possibly even create an episode.
Oh, that's cool.
Right?
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm talking out of school kind of, because that's what I would like to see happen. I'm not.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is because like I see Good Kitty's show, I see 300's show, I see Jack's show, and like if I want to go and click on it and I see, okay, they had an episode, it was a live stream, but there's get show passes or promote on X, but I want to go watch the show, right? And I don't see, there's no link right now for me to go watch the show, like all in one place kind of thing.
We have Good Kitty in the house.
Hi, Good.
Yeah, there's nowhere to just go. So we can just do embeds too.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so cool. I mean, this is all obviously a work in progress. I'm just excited about the future of this.
Kitty's at a banger.
Hi, Good Kitty.
Hey.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year from South Africa.
How are you?
Can you hear the background? Yes.
Yeah. It's very present.
Can you hear the music?
Hold on, I think is this your official boxing?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nobody's ever seen me.
Nice.
Dressed in 80s gear.
Oh, Trip, I told
It's
him
so weird. So this is my first time. My face has been on. I'm so nervous. It's so weird.
Oh, you look great. People love it, and bad as they are.
And look, and I've even got, guys. Kitty!
Oh, I love it. That's cool. I like
Yeah,
that.
so for us here now, it's 20 minutes away from midnight.
I think it's about 20 minutes to 5. And I think Randy's so it's about.
So I'll only stay a little bit now, and then when I get home, I'll pop back on for the second thing. Luckily, this is non-alcoholic.
I'm doing club soda myself today. Not. I might drink a little bit later. I don't know. Probably not.
Well, I don't drink alcohol.
No, I just don't feel. I don't feel like having a headache all day tomorrow.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Guess what these are?
What are they?
They're little gummy shrimp. So that's my New Year's Eve party.
Gummies. Very nice.
Gummies.
Cheers.
So should I show you around where I am?
Yeah, go ahead. Where are you? You're at family's house or friend's house?
I'm at a friend's house. So when my son started school, he made friends with like 8 boys. And so this is now like 10 or so years ago. And all the parents, it was so weird because the boys already love each other and the parents already love each other. And so like this morning I was with 2 of the husbands I'd done a hike up the mountain, and I came down and I jumped into the ocean. It was fucking freezing. And then I got on one of those like paddle ski, surf ski, whatever things. So that was the start with these people, and now I'm at one of the houses. We were having a karaoke party, but okay, let me show you. So this is their house. These are my friends. Those people over there are making a fire. They just got out the swimming pool. You're going stream. Okay, there's some people there. Say hello to the internet. Here we go. Okay.
Happy New Year!
So Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
So that's what I'm doing. Can you guys actually see
It's a
anything?
little dark. Some of it we could, some of it we couldn't.
It's a bit blurry. Okay, I'm back into proper light. But anyway, that's where I am. I'm in Cape Town, under the mountain. What is everybody else up to?
Well, we were just so I got Landy here with us. Paul Frederick is here with us. Paul from AO Scribe, and we're just chatting. We've actually been chatting about the DeOrganized website and the awesome website that Trippin' Monkey has built out for us. And how I've been actively populating the links and/or getting the show schedules set up properly so that we can get the links populated like we do on the schedule. That's part of.
Hi, Landy.
Hi, good kitty. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Yeah, it sounds like you're having fun over there.
Yeah, it is. It's cool. Good friends, New Year. I prefer like the outdoorsy kind of stuff. So I was loving the like hiking part of the day.
Yeah.
I was great. And so everyone's like now kind of, you know, that like time of the party where everyone's like had a couple of drinks.
Just a few. Yeah, I still have a ways to go before it's before any kind of celebration, as it's 2 p.m. by me. So I'm over here on the West Coast.
Oh my god!
Just hanging out with family. It's a family gathering tonight. So it'll be
Nice. That's
it'll
good.
be
We're very family vibes here.
yeah, and we're gonna hopefully not stay up too late, and as I'm still a little under the weather, but if I end up staying up too late, well, I get to sleep in tomorrow. Kids don't have school, so it's all good.
Have you been sick?
Oh yeah, I got the flu. But I'm getting over it. I'm getting ready for the new year. I'll be ready to go.
Guys, I'm like so super like freaked out and nervous that I've done this, and I've like totally doxed myself now.
Well, we're happy that you chose the DeOrganized New Year's Eve Spaces event to do this, huh? Right, Peace?
Yeah, I've been waiting for her. Because we were gonna. So she was gonna start her show a couple weeks back. She was gonna talk then. And I've kind of been waiting for this. So it's almost slightly. I wasn't ready. It didn't occur to me until she came on live that was gonna happen. You know, I missed it. Thinking about other things. So this is kind of monumentous. I'm surprised people don't know. Actually, I should.
Don't tweet it. This is like a total.
Yeah, this is a thing. This is a thing. So did I just?
I know it was. I promise you, it was such a weird thing, and I was sitting here going like, should I go like this?
Yeah.
Should I just be like a kitty?
Kitty, please, everyone.
Hey, Staxy's in the house. What's Staxy?
Hey,
It's already
Nice
New
taxi.
Year's here. Who else?
Yeah,
is
the
New
kitty
Year's?
hood would have been interesting.
Can feel it.
Kitty.
Eddie!
Kitty, is it New Year's yet?
Hey,
Staxy,
Saxy!
are you
No,
still
10
performing?
minutes.
I already performed twice, so it's already 1:50.
Oh, it's already after one.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, guys.
Cheers!
Oh, so it's almost 2 a.m. for you?
Yeah, like the fireworks in Dubai is something else, honestly. They just go on for 10 minutes. It's crazy.
Well, happy
How
New
are we
Year's,
doing?
Maxie.
Happy New
Doing
Are
Year.
you ready to celebrate?
We're getting there. We're getting there. Kitty's celebrating. It's almost midnight where she is right
Kitty,
now.
I love seeing your face. Honestly, I'm so happy your dog's finally because
Isn't
this
it
beauty
brilliant?
deserves to be shown around.
Aww, stop it.
Who else?
Thank
Who
you
else
so
is
much.
on here?
Yeah.
Landy.
Here we are
We
together,
got
Wait,
Saxy.
Landy and we got
I can't
Paul Frederick from the Syndicate.
Hey guys. I just want
Nice
to
taxi.
say,
How's it going?
hey guys, I just want to say I'm so happy that I have people now like you guys that I really want to call on New Year's, and hang out with you. And I'm really grateful we all met. It's incredible to have people that think the same way like you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Here's to that. Cheers to that.
I don't.
It is. Isn't it cool that we've made these
Yeah.
friendships like
I really want us all to make it so we can start doing parties internationally and meet each other and our families. Not that I have a family, but I'll happily meet yours.
well, I got enough for all of us.
Yeah, you do.
yeah. You
But
do.
I second that sentiment, Staxy. All of you, and amongst many others, are friends of mine. We've made friends, we've built good relationships, productive working relationships as well. We're not just friends. We realize that we can work together on things and kind of produce some stuff, and we're still working on our processes, and we're still working on which you really should always be doing. It's kind of just life, right? Is that we're just always
Yeah,
kind
just
of working on building ourselves and building our stuff.
Pick each other up and do better,
Right.
Do you see those beautiful yachts over there?
Let me maximize you a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that. Wow.
So beautiful.
It's just like a random area. It's not even something special. And it's called the marina.
You look so amazing. Oh my gosh.
I'd consider relocating, but I can't even get my wife to consider moving down to Florida.
Do it, please. Oh my god, I would love that. You would love it here.
She would never.
I just love to see how all these cultures and different religions live in one country and get along. There's no bullshit here. There's no violence here. There's no crime here. Okay, there's scammers here, but you're safe. Everyone's just, happy to be here, and everything is beautiful. It's insane. Everywhere you go, it's just incredible views, and everything is outstandingly amazing. Sorry.
You're so beautiful
Thank
too.
you. I got this is I was
Yeah.
a makeup artist.
All these beautiful
I was
people.
performing today. I was working. I was a ballerina in one of the best hotels here. They had a huge New Year's celebration with Broadway style. It was super cool. Maybe I'll have some footage.
Was it a private or a public?
It was a
it a private thing?
No, it was a public, but
public.
super expensive. I feel like all the high-end people were there because it's in the most expensive hotel here, and it was a huge stage and probably 200 tables. So loud. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it's kind of like we're at a party of parties. So between there's a lot going on on both of them. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. No, I was just saying it was this type of
Hey!
with the mic. I don't know. Who's so loud? Yeah, anyways.
It's me,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. Quickly, I just want to explain. So it was the most expensive hotel here called the Atlantis. It's on the Palm, and they have like this gala dinner, New Year's celebration, and it was like Broadway themed. So it's like a red carpet, and then you have like all you have like the Lion King, Hamilton, Beauty and the Beast, like characters, Greatest Showman, Chicago, all kinds of Mamma Mia, and I was a red ballerina in a red dress in a cage, and all these high-end people dressed like the Oscars, you know. And then they walked through, like it was a vibe. And then there's this huge stage, and then there's like 200 gala dinner tables, and it looks like out of the movie, you know. And it's just wow, like I'm happy to be paid to be there, you know, like. I don't even know how much that costs, but people really know how to do events here, like these type of, yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I was working, and then right after I finished, I was driving with my e-scooter here, my car, to another venue not far away to catch the other celebration. So I made money today, so I can invest in meme coins tomorrow.
Very
It
nice.
almost
Very
rhymes.
nice.
I made money today, so I can
Stack
invest in
prices.
meme coins tomorrow.
Stack's price is pretty good too.
Like honestly, it doesn't excite me anymore. This 1% thing. Like I'm investing in other meme coins now. They do 10 to 14% a day. So 1% is like. What's Kitty saying? Kitty?
Sorry, meow 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 meow. I've got you here. Look here, Stacky.
Are you trying to tell me that I have to invest in a cat coin?
Yeah. Sorry. Listen, guys, I've got to go say Happy New Year to everybody, and then I'm going to come back. Okay.
Happy New Year. Tell them all we said Happy New Year.
Yep. Happy New Year.
I will
Happy New Year,
do.
guys.
And lots of love to you guys, and I'll see you just now. Yeah, because for me, I've got 5 minutes to go.
That's the year we make a lot of money, hopefully, all of us.
Yeah. This is it, guys. Either this year or never.
Happy New Year. Kitty.
I'll see you just now.
Happy New
Bye.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye. Peace, how many people are watching?
Only about 60. But I mean,
Okay,
it's 60
nice,
people on New
nice.
Year's Eve that are, you know, it's dinner time for East Coast US, so I'm not mad at it. To be honest with you, I'm less worried about the numbers right
Okay.
now just because it's so
Yeah, it's just fun.
right.
Landy, are you gonna ever show your face? I'm sure you're beautiful.
Nope. Landy's going to remain anon. Landy is.
But your voice sounds so good. Like it almost wants us to.
Well,
know how
I
you look.
definitely don't look the way my voice sounds, but I can tell you that I was previously doxxed. So
That's
I was
disappointing.
a doxxed account for a very, very long time.
So if we do research, we can find your face.
Maybe there's people who know who I am on X and so on and so forth, and they had to figure it out either because they know me in real life or they recognized my voice from prior accounts. But yeah, it's a big thing that, you know, not no reason to tread down that road of why Landy is anon now, but yeah, this.
We
Yeah,
will do
I mean
our
you can.
research.
I had a good following on a TA focused account for many years, and I kept it the same. I'm still doing the same stuff. It's just not under my name and my face. So,
Okay.
but yeah, there are people actually in the community that have met me in real life that don't know it, which is kind of funny. Because I don't go out there to events and say like, oh, I'm Landy from X. I just tell them my real name.
Yeah. This is the thing. This is the thing. Like whenever you meet people, we know each other by PFPs. So people will come up to me because I'm dogs. They're like, "Oh, Staxy."
Who
And
are
I'm
you?
Like, what the fuck is this? You know? And then they tell me the name, and I'm like, "Guy, sorry. Like, I need to see the PFP. Like, I don't identify
Yeah.
the face."
And people's voices are quite a bit different in real life. So a lot of people don't pick up when I'm at an event and I talk to them that it's me, which I do think is kind of funny. So I always have liked to keep it that way since changing over to this anon status, which is pretty funny. But certain people pick up on it. And Vegas will be fun. Let's put it that way.
I'm sure it will. I'm not going to be there, but I'm sure it will. Guys, I have to go. I have to meet my friends. And Peace, Landy, and Paul, for you, the New Year's is still coming up. So maybe once I'm home, they will be alive and I'm still awake. And then I'll know you guys as well. And I hope
we'll be wrapping in about probably within like the next half hour or so, and then we'll be going live again in like 4 hours. So it might be a little bit too late for you.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll be sleeping. No, I'll be sleeping.
But Happy New Year.
But maybe you're still gonna be on when I wake up.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much for coming out today.
Happy New Year's, and we're all gonna make it.
We're all gonna make it. No doubt.
It's gonna rock. That's for sure.
Let's go, guys. This is the year.
Yeah.
Full runs on.
Well, Happy New Year's, Taxi.
Woo! Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
That was that was actually, so you had mentioned the election earlier, Landy, and the H-1B visa thing is kind of topical in the news right now.
Yeah.
Oh, we got
What's the big deal? What's the big deal? I mean, is it because you let
you just bring that up just
you let anybody you let
he heard you say it, it was like, I gotta go in now.
Hey, H-1B visas, and then all of a sudden Michael pops up. What's up, Michael?
the non-Indian, the non-native Indian.
I don't listen. I don't have a problem with. So my immigration standpoint is actually extremely liberal. I think borders should be open for otherwise peaceful people who are not harming anybody should be able to come and go as they please, right?
Sorry,
but the reason it was topical was because Staxi can't come to Vegas. Staxi has a hard time coming to the U.S. because she's kind of stateless, single woman, doesn't have a job here, doesn't have a So that's why I was reminded to ask you that.
Difficult for her to get a visa? Is that what you're saying?
Has she tried crossing the southern border?
Yeah.
I mean, the southern border is wide open.
Through Mexico, she'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't
Fly
think
into Tijuana, rent a car, come on,
That would probably not be a pleasant experience for her.
But once you get in, you can't get out. That's the problem. You got to wait to get kicked out because
it's like Hotel California with a credit card.
Yeah, basically. No, so the H-1B visas, look, I'm not against visas and I'm not against legal immigration at all. It is illegal immigration. That's it. It's pretty simple. And it's the system is purposely broken to allow for illegal immigration. So if the system's fixed, we can actually process people who want to come here to the United States without an issue and, understand who they are before they come here. Right. And but that's very different than the argument is often conflating citizenship with immigrating here, right? So they often combine these arguments and then apply, to even people like myself, like, oh, well, you just hate, immigrants. And it's like, no, my entire family is here because they were immigrants and they immigrated here, but they all immigrated here legally. And many, this is a hot topic in Southern California because a lot of the Hispanic population that is here immigrated here legally. They don't like illegal immigrants, no matter where they're from, because the process is very, very difficult to immigrate here. And then even more difficult is getting your citizenship. So, there is pathways to do so that have been incredibly marred with red tape to encourage illegal immigration here. And there's a lot of money in illegal immigration. There's a lot of groups that get paid to facilitate it, to fund it, and basically take funds from taxpayers to fund sanctuary cities. It's a big business, and a lot of people don't realize that there's a big business behind that. That funding for sanctuary cities is to the tune of billions of dollars here in California alone.
I estimated I had GPT do an estimate based on current published values, and right now the illegal immigrants receiving benefits cost more than almost as much as paying for defense. So it's ridiculous what they've allocated. And then I put out on a tweet a theoretical method of removal, and I've got a little response from it. But then also I did the cost benefit of eliminating those, and it's a plus over 2 years if you eliminate it. And the best case is Eisenhower did it with 3 million people with school buses and the National Guard. So I mean, it's a doable thing.
The biggest problem, and I think the reason why the debate over H-1B visas is so hot right now, is because there are companies that exploit it to bring in lower skilled labor, right? Because the H-1B visa is very specific, right? It's for high skilled labor, and it's for if you are unable to fill a specific job roles within a set period of time, you can apply to, you can bring on H-1B visas, grantees, and you can grant also to bring that.
Like 20 years ago, there was a TN1 visa. Is that still a thing?
No.
Okay.
No. So
Disney did that with a lot of their technical, like IT people. They came in and they did that, and then they also rolled out a lot of their needs to contractors, because I know a controls company that picked up a lot of business 5 to 10 years ago, that they picked up a lot of business from Disney. And that was a way of, they're slashing the labor pricing. And I agree with you. That's not what it was intended for. But that kind of thing. It's just like they're saying Elon laid 2,000 and something off. And now, they find out that he had hired 2,600 in a year before or something like that. So it's kind of like they're tying the two together. But in reality, the market is driving what the layoffs are, because they're doing it throughout the car industry and that kind of thing. So
have you been? I'm using Steve Bannon as my proxy. Who you guys paying attention to right now?
Steve. Look, Steve is for all the people that hate him. He actually is Steve. A very, very smart individual. He understands. Well, I don't have an opinion on him that is either positive nor negative. I think he's a very smart and controversial individual. He's been right about a lot of things. I don't always agree with him on a lot of things, though. And when it comes to this, because I actually this is right up my alley, because I literally help staff entire corporations via the policies that were mandated by the money that was attached, right? Let's put it that way. And when you're bringing over H-1Bs, you're bringing them over because of they have a specified skill set, right? And what a lot of companies do is they utilize that. Instead of hiring in the city that their corporation is in, they will utilize the visas as a proxy to pay people less, right? And that means that you're bringing over, you're not going to get somebody with a doctorate from another country, bring them here and pay them less, right? That just doesn't make sense. But that you're going to get H-1Bs to bring over a brilliant individual from another country to work in your corporation, to be here to facilitate a job role that you cannot fill from the population within that region. And it is regional. Like, a lot of people think that it's like, oh, it's just all of the United States. No, it's actually based on regionality. So if I'm in Wyoming and I can't find, an engineer for this specific task that I'm trying to complete in, let's say blockchain technologies and encryption, and everybody else that I want to be able to hire is just not available, I can get the guy overseas, bring him over on an H-1B, and have him come work. That's actually what it was intended for. But what they did is they used it to flood all of the menial jobs and basically think about like a tech job that might be an entry level position that might pay like $20 to $25 an hour. But instead, I can bring them over for $12.50 an hour on an H-1B and call them skilled labor, right? That's because that's not what it was intended for. But that's how it ended up being used. And that's just corporate greed at the end of the day. And that's actually, I don't think that that's good for the people coming over either. Like, they're coming over for a better life, and yet they're being exploited. And that's not fair, right?
We had something here where, again, like industries grow up around these policies and these kind of loopholes, right, over time. They're like almost like a decaying calcification. So like in Canada, what happened was people would come here to do like degrees in basket weaving, right? And that's how they would get into the country.
Underwater basket weaving even.
Yeah. So what would happen is these colleges would make like hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars a year selling these, PhDs in basket weaving. So that's what happened in Canada. And by the way, the foreign students pay like up to 3 to 4 times the amount. So it's just like a cash printing machine. So
here's what they did in the United States. As somebody that started and founded a college and went through the WASC regional accreditations and the national accreditation process. We started out attached to training specifically college degree programs that also got you certifications within the industry that it was relevant for. Like for financials, you'd get all your FINRA licenses, plus you get your financial education and get your degree in finance, business and finance, or whatever it is. And then you'd come out with FINRA certifications. So you could literally go work at a top firm if you wanted to. Right. You still have to go in at the entry level, by the way. You don't just go into a top position at a firm right out of college, by the way. But and then on the tech side of things, you would get you'd go for your CIS degree and you'd get all of your certifications for like your CompTIA certifications, your Cisco certifications, your IC2 certifications, all these different computer certifications that are often needed to perform certain job tasks, even if you have a degree, right? You'd still need the certification because that's what's mandatory, often via defense contractors, because defense contractors are the biggest hiring force. They hire the most in the IT industry here in the United States. It's defense contractors. And every other company does not hire here. They outsource. Well, the funny part is all of the different IT people in defense here and for the defense contractors in the United States are all Chinese. You want to know why? Because they came over and got visas to go to college, to get technical degrees, to fill these tech positions for American defense contract companies like your Raytheons, your General Dynamics, and your Lockheed Martins and all that. There's a bunch of Chinese students fresh off the plane who would come to school, not even show up to their classes because they knew that they could just pass all their exams because they all would get together as groups and hammer out what the tests would be. And, we tried to avoid that in our school. And we were told by the Department of Education, if we did not take on these particular visas, we would lose our accreditation. So we were mandated by the Department of Education to actually bring over foreign nationals. They, of course, government's paying to train them because they're on all these grant programs to go through our program. They get on their visas, and then they stay here and go and work for our national defense contractors as IT people. It was the most broken loophole system, but it was set up that way, right?
But
You
your
can't
school
blame-
made money doing it too, right? Like you guys got paid. It was just paid by the government.
I mean, everything was paid by every single college is paid by the government.
Right,
It's
right.
very, very rare that you're getting these. Look, like you'll still have to, the government pays us up front. The loan goes through the government. So if you have $250,000 in debt, one of the reasons why the Biden administration wanted to nix all the debt for votes is because it's actually government debt. It goes through the vector of these different finance companies, but at the end of the day, the government was the one that gave the loan. They're all government loans almost entirely. So if you have $250,000 of debt at my old school and you default on it, yeah, you're going to get all these different creditors and all these different names and banks and stuff like that. But it was a government loan at the end of the day. So when you actually default and never pay them, they just go to the government and the government gives them, basically blanks it out on their balance sheet for them. So that's what he wanted to do to get some votes. But that's what they do all the time. So like if I get new students in a new cohort, right, I bring them in, they all sign up for the program. They get funded by the government. They might have a little bit of funding or a smaller loan that they have to take out, but the bulk of the debt is all government debt, right? So it's taxpayer dollars to bring people over to then to go work for American companies that are foreign nationals. And the problem there is that there's actually Americans that could do those jobs, right? Why not give these if you're going to do it, at least give Americans the financial loans. They know that if they do that, they have to pay the Americans more. Whereas they know that for these Chinese nationals, in this case, many years ago, that they didn't have to pay them as much because they want to be here. They want to be in the United States.
That gets to the point of what I was going to suggest about bringing it up is that this is really about wage suppression.
Yes, it is. It is entirely about exploitation of people who want to come here to the United States under the guise of caring about them when they don't give a damn about these people. They just don't want to pay. And that's exploitation of other humans. And I'm not in favor of that. If they're American, I'm not in favor of that. If they're Chinese or Afghani or from Africa, I am in favor of that. If they're from the UK. Screw the UK. No, I'm just kidding.
I would say though, these visa recipients are likely going to benefit versus even though it's low
in the long run, they will, even though they're being exploited
more than they could.
By the way, I think it's funny because we're having this whole discussion with this really lively Christmas music.
It is pretty funny. Merry Christmas. It's. You know what the other thing is, Peace, is the reason that this issue is being conflated right now is because the issue is on the right and the left, and both the right and the left on the corporate infrastructure side of things are like, no, we haven't been doing this all these years. So they're actually on the same side, and people are like, no, you're assholes for exploiting this and exploiting people because it's a twofold issue. You're bringing people over, you're paying them less, which technically is you're exploiting their labor so that you don't have to pay as much. And you're exploiting the taxpayers by bringing them over on the taxpayer dime. Yes, the incentive for them is to be here in the United States, but then you're also not hiring Americans on top of it all. So you're actually doing a disservice to the Americans here by not hiring them. Plus you're exploiting foreign labor. Plus you're exploiting the taxpayers. And then you're going, no, you're all racist if you say that you don't want immigrants here. And people are sick of it. And that's why it's a hot topic right now. And they're trying to confuse the issue with people
There's
right
a couple of ways to look at this, right? You know what? Go ahead, Paul.
I was just going to say if you look at the employment numbers, all the employment was pretty much provided to illegal immigrants primarily. And you have major corporations like
you're always talking about me, like
Tyson. And
I was looking at you when you said it.
I'm just saying facts.
I just look at myself in my camera, and anytime you say like illegal immigrants, I feel like
I say illegal aliens because I try to use the legal definition. And Tyson has fired local people and replaced them with illegals, and they've gotten caught. But yet they don't really, penalize them significantly enough, and they have the mechanisms in place. It's just like enforcing the illegal immigration. enforcing the laws, none of that would be happening. But everybody's bending it every different direction and saying, "Oh, it's broke." No, what's broke is the people managing it, and that's the root.
Well, it is broken in a number of ways. You're right. It all is broken because the people that run the system are corrupt, and the people that influence the system take advantage of their corruptedness.
Yeah, it's not the structure; it's the ones that are managing it. I mean, it's the structure in place.
Well, it is
okay.
the structure too, because the structure, the ones that are managing it, are also the ones that have been facilitating the creation and the advancement of the structure.
No, you follow. They alter the law by policy, not by the law itself. So they circumvent the law by not addressing and following specific policy, which is their own rule. So in turn, if they followed the law, then it would be okay. But beyond that, they've screwing with all of it and they've messed up. Quit laughing at me.
What would be their incentive to do that, though, right? Why would they be?
Money.
U.S. dollars in a foreign bank.
Right.
That's
Someone
converted to Bitcoin or gold, one or the other. So.
But someone's enticing them to someone is pushing these policies forward for a reason.
The
Yeah.
lobbyists on Congress, the Congressional Uniparty,
NGOs.
pretty much, and they just roll it over to the NGOs. You have organizations like Andy was saying. There are organizations that have earned their groups $1 billion on just handling people, paperwork, and that kind of thing. And that's ridiculous because they're looking completely the opposite way. And yet they're supposed to follow Caesar's laws and rules.
Yeah.
And when they look away, they're not,
Well, I think we're all missing the point. Peace, Paul, Michael. The real point is we're about to expand our population immensely and our landmass immensely. When Canada becomes the 51st state and the tyrannical governor gets ousted there, we're going to have a bunch of new territory where we will need legal immigration, and we want to encourage that, right? That we have to fill out America's hat. And then we're also going to have Greenland and the Panama Canal. So once we get these things, there's obviously a big landmass in Greenland where we could definitely set up all of our customer support centers. So if corporations want to exploit the H-1B visas, Greenland's going to be the place that they're probably going to have to go.
We can do building igloos there. That's definitely going to be a high deal. The first thing on all of that argument, I put something out there on that, is the acceptance of Canada as a 51st state. And the key, the fundamental thing would be the constitution nature and the alteration of their existing state. They would have to be kind of like Louisiana was, but they'd still have to adapt the Constitution, and that being the foundation of their law versus the international basis that they use law now. So that's the biggest stumbling block. The rest of it is we got plenty of them that are just like us, and we got plenty of them that ain't. Y'all keep the French, okay? We don't want the French, okay?
Yeah, the Quebec can remain. We just give them to France. Here you go. This is a French territory.
States, actually, though.
Huh?
Shouldn't it be 5 states, not just one big Canadian state?
It would actually. I think it would end up being one state, and then you have 5 massive counties,
Yes,
like California.
So it's like the opposite of Rhode Island.
Yes.
Yeah. So
look, I'm Guyanese. I don't have a horse in the race. You guys can have it.
The funny part about this conversation is that you do realize that there's actually conversations happening between Canadian politicians and American politicians right now.
That's crazy.
About this, because Canada is in such a bad way with debt that it would actually really bolster their economy. It would also benefit them in international trade. And having them attached to the American dollar, that's the big thing. We'd have to do a purchase agreement, essentially, because we'd have to siphon the Canadian debt, because we'd have to roll the Canadian debt over into American debt, or eliminate it entirely. And these are real conversations that are happening behind the scenes. I actually know some good friends of mine who are in Congress. And by the
People,
way, good
Canadians
friends
don't
in
realize.
Congress.
Yeah,
Funny thing.
Canadians don't realize that they would be taking on the personal responsibility for the debt that they create, plus the debt we've already created.
Yes, which is interesting. That's actually going to be because they would have to. It's not just like the United States goes and buys Canada, right? It would actually have to be ratified through the Canadian government as well, and that's where they're trying to right now shore up support, which is interesting because Trudeau is absolutely collapsing over there.
Yeah,
His
we got
entire party
precedent.
is collapsing as
Well,
well.
so
Yeah.
at the same
Yeah, the
time,
war with Mexico was precedents, setting legal precedents of acquisition and payment, because we returned the country and paid their debts off, and also took as an exchange, as being the victor, the land in the West and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like legal precedent in the United States has already been set, except there'll be no war per se.
but they've been planning on. They've been trying to create a North American Union since they started trying to establish the EU, which they successfully did.
So you're talking about this could be like the NAFTA, like full blown NAFTA. Like this is the most extreme NAFTA.
Yeah, except it's literally just rolling it into this is now the United States. These are all, this is a state. They get a state constitution. They get their governors. They have their entire, essentially you roll over their entire political infrastructure, but you modify it to be at state level. And then, of course, then you'd have the American continent is, North American continent is now all the United States. And then he wants to grab Greenland. Holy crap. Do you understand? I don't think people understand the international military implications of why he wants to do this. This is in part to take on China and Russia, and in part to bolster the economy, and have a vector for the planned deportations of illegals. Because not all, one of the things that's been very specifically said by Trump and the administration is you kind of have to read between the lines. He wants to deport violent illegal immigrants. You notice that is not all illegal immigrants. That means that what they're going to do is they're going to go through, if you have committed any crimes in the United States, you're instantly gone. But if you're a criminal from another country, you will also be gone. But the bulk of people here will have a pathway to citizenship, which I don't think a lot of people understand. Now, if you expand the territory of the United States to include a 51st state, which, this is still very, very far off and very highly likely not going to happen, but it would be hilarious if it did. Now you have more land mass that can be filled out with more new people to bolster new economies. And that's where I think a lot of people don't fully understand kind of the growing groundswell within that administration and the people who are guiding some of the rhetoric that's coming out of that into real policy. And that's going to be very, very interesting going forward. And it's not always things that I'm going to agree with, and many might not. But when you understand what some of the end goal is on the military and economic side of things, it starts to become very clear why they want to do what they're doing and why the rhetoric is what the rhetoric is, specifically as it relates to the Panama Canal, where Trump has been like, we built that, right? You know how many Americans died building that, right? So yeah, there's very, very interesting stuff that's coming up after the new year. And it's far beyond the crypto friendly administration stuff. And you notice that Trump today just put out a tweet and said, like, basically there's a lot of opposition. So understand that this is going to take a lot of backbone, and we're going to have to fight for everything that we want to get implemented. This isn't going to be an easy process, even with a mandate.
Can I throw something else in there? The other way I've been looking at it is, why would he be trolling to the degree that he's trolling? Is there other things behind this that's cutting and occupying other people's times and focus of what really is being constructed in in the area that's not being looked at, because the way it's been presented and the way they've played back and forth, him and Elon, and the way certain influencers have done it, especially on X, it's seems to, the back of my neck's telling me, is there something else really going on other than what we're seeing? Is it necessarily, what's the obvious? You know what I mean? Because in politics, that's a lot of times that's the game of the way they present themselves and they present things
The
to
magic
make you
trick.
look right.
Yeah, the magic trick. While you're looking over here, we're doing something else. And I 100% agree with you. Hey, I just need to read this real quick.
Yeah, watch my hand here, because my other hand's in your pocket taking everything out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the case when it comes to anything in the government. I was just reading this this funny meme. It says, honestly, I don't think I want a new year this year. I would rather have a gently used year like 2006 or maybe 1998 if it's in good condition.
That's good. I don't want to revert back, because if we did, we'd have to revert back to about 1905, somewhere around there. And we'd try to fight
Pre-Federal Reserve.
Yeah, pre-Federal Reserve, pre-Federal, a lot of things that occurred between 1910 and about 1939. There's a whole bunch of law changes and the corruption and a lot of putting cancer into place on the Constitution. So that's a whole different, argument and bailiwick to chew on.
Yeah. Oh man.
So we're actually a little bit past, so we're just coming up on 5:30 right now. So we're going to probably wrap this up soon. And then we'll be back in a few hours at 9 p.m. to take it to midnight. And thank you guys so much for joining. But I do want to say this with the comment, the conversation being where it is, which I love this stuff, all of it, and all the perspectives and the input, because I know I'm dealing with people that are being honest and also are intelligent on the subject, know what they're talking about, and have come to their opinions on it with a lot of well thought processes.
You need a trumpet? We'll accept that. So,
well, so what I want to say though is, and so from a fundamental level, forget about countries and rules and laws. People are inherently economically viable, just in our natural state. We are more economically generative than we are extractive, I guess is the word. So there's nothing wrong with having more people. It's in the system that's designed right now that makes it really hard for those people to thrive. It makes them very dependent, and it is used to suppress wages. That's the problem. It's not the people existing and being here. And part of the problem is the model that, if they committed violent crimes here, then they've committed violent crimes, which we have laws against anyway. So they're violating our laws. If they haven't committed crimes and they are violating our laws, they're a net value add to our economy, no matter how you slice it. But the other thing is, we already don't have enough housing for the people we have. We haven't been replacing housing.
Yes, that's the flip side.
And I don't see where the hell that's coming from, especially with the massive wave of people they're trying to continue to bring in. I just don't think it's not sustainable under the current the current policies and laws. Like, they're both fucked.
Yeah. And I would agree with you in this respect. I am not against people coming to the United States at all. Never have been. And there just needs to be a legal process that is efficient. And we've purposely had a broken system in that regard to encourage illegal processes, so that these people can be exploited at the expense of the American people. And that's what needs to be fixed. If that's fixed, I think that all of the other problems can also be fixed as well. And that is housing and jobs for everyone. but we have to have an incentivized infrastructure set up to do that. And right now we're disincentivized to operate in that way. Much like my argument when it comes to, Bitcoin and these big asset under management companies that are buying it up, right? Well, they're buying it under the guise of, it's their customers buying it, right? And the incentivization structure for them is to onboard new customers and get enough shares in other companies like Bitcoin miners, for instance, to put one of their representatives on the board to protect their investors, right? For the assets that they're managing. And the incentivization structure for a long time for about 6 years or so, has been ESG. And that's not a good incentivization structure. It encourages bad behavior. It encourages bad policy and corporate governance, bad hiring practices. And if you change or tweak the incentivization structure for those companies, they will change as well. They'll start operating in a way that is more preferable to the people if the incentivization structure is set up correctly for them to do so. And it's the same thing when it comes to immigration. It's the same thing that comes to home building and buying of properties by these big conglomerate companies that then jack up rents or jack up the prices. There's all kinds of things that can be fixed. And I do think that the incoming administration knows this and understands this problem very well. And I think that what many people within their own support group, meaning Trump supporters, are not going to like some of the things that he's going to do, because he's going to deal with these big conglomerate companies. He's going to deal with the other side to try and set up advantageous incentivization structures that benefit the American people and those who want to come here and become American citizens, and or are already here and want to become American citizens. And I think that that is going to upset a lot of Trump people. And I think you're starting to see that occur with this H-1B conversation. But I think that H-1B conversation is going to change significantly over time back to what its original ethos was going to be. I think to just kind of put a little bow on what we were talking about originally.
Well, I would hope so. Trip had asked if tonight's is a space or a live stream, and it's going to be a live stream, sir. We will be back at 9 p.m. To 9 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll kind of continue this same kind of conversation as what we're having now. Have probably a few more participants, and just kind of take it out to midnight at least, depending on who else shows up. If we get a West Coast guy that can run the stream, happy to let them take it to midnight if there's demand for that over there. But I'm not making any promises on that one. So
I appreciate the opportunity to speak. And Lanny, me and you could have really long conversations on a lot of things. And just to close out on what you were commenting, everything that we talked about is an emotional and economic component of it. The one thing that I see that is lacking, that will not allow for it to be successful long term, will be the fundamental education of leaving their cultures to assimilate into the culture of being an American, and teaching the original founding fathers' thought processes and how it was created, not the modern day culture's values and the way it was done. That way they can understand and ask, why is it the way it is today? So that's all I got to say.
Thank you for joining us, Paul. And to be honest with you, I think that part of that cultural divide, or the capacity to transcend that issue, is in the things we're doing now. We're actually exporting our culture now and integrating our culture and actually assimilating with other cultures as well, because we're very much establishing a global community right now. There's a bunch of people we all talk to on a regular basis that are outside of the U.S. Me, at least I do, and I suspect both of you also do. The more you engage in this space revolving around crypto. So I think we're kind of exporting our culture to some degree, or at least we just need to keep having more of these conversations in public, actually, I think is really part of it.
we're changing culture right now. And I think it's the pendulum is starting to swing back, especially on the US side of things, to the core values in which the country was founded. And I don't, any honest Democrat or any honest Republican, if they want to take up a camp, I think is for that, to be quite honest, both liberal and conservative.
Let's look at it this way, right? The country was founded on really great values, but I think rather than trying to fit everything to an ideal from the past, which was based, well based, I think we need to kind of establish the values we want to move forward with in the context of the modern world we're in, because the mechanisms that sprang out of the establishment of those values were from that time, So do we really want giant, massive nation states, super states that are top-down, centralized control structures and more consolidation of those? I mean, that's probably not the right way.
Yeah, maybe a conversation I'll bring up later, because it's actually a conversation about decentralization. Our country was actually founded on that concept, which
decentralization. Decentralization was the beginning, and there was no centralization in the Federalist and Anti-Federalist. The debate that went on and the things that have happened is the corruption. And seeing that's not what I'm saying. Is that America should represent what it was originally founded for: the ability to be free and to be able to learn, educate, and grow, and with the basis of truth and justice. And those things have been corrupted today in our main structures, in our peripheral structures. They're not 100% corrupted, but they're corrupted enough in certain areas that people aren't getting those things. And that's what I'm saying, of looking at and understanding the past. You can ask, why are we here at this corrupt point? How do we eliminate this corruption, and do we do the things the right way? That's the way I differentiate looking at the past and what's going on today. Because it worked to create, and there was a basis. You can't look blindly and say everything happened since 1960, and we can't look any further. You know what I mean? So that's my point, and we can have great discussions on it.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we need to start doing Gary had suggested a political show, and Gary Reiger, and we just
boy, hell yeah, I'll go on that.
Yeah, Jack was interested. I think maybe a once a week, later in the evening, one day.
Don't let me drink alcohol before the show. Okay, that's all I say.
Now you are required to drink alcohol before the show.
No. Oh man.
No. Of course. Take it or leave it. Nobody's ever required to do anything in my neighborhood. So
no, the key piece was something along that lines, is that we can freely disagree with each other, and it's like with Michael and stuff. We are oil and water. That's how we describe. That's how we came to terms that there are a lot of things that we differentiate on, but at the same time we have a common ground. We create things. We help people. We teach. We share information. That kind of things. But our basic beliefs. I'm going to have my own opinions, my own beliefs, and I respect everybody else's. And I'm not trying to tell anybody else this is how you have to live, but most of the time that's how it comes across when I express it, if you know what I mean. And so that's the reason I said, don't ask me my opinion and don't ask me what I think, because you're not going to like me after it's over with. Okay.
But that's on the person that's listening too, right? If you're sharing your opinion, and I understand that, but it's your opinion and I have an opinion, and our opinions are going to be different. And then when we figure out where we agree and don't agree, then we can find the common ground and move forward for all the things that we have a lot more, no matter who you are, where you're coming from.
Yeah.
We have a lot more in common, and then we disagree.
That's like that wall behind you is too yellow. Okay.
I don't disagree with you there. I'm just too lazy to change it.
You guys know what they say about opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one.
Yes, that's exactly
They
right.
all stink.
And they all stink like shit. Hey, peace. Paul, it was great talking to you guys.
Good talking with you guys.
Absolutely. Happy New Year, guys. If you're around
New Year.
later, come on, join the stream. I'll be sharing out the link. But I'm so glad you came out, both of you, and you all have a blessed night.
You too, brother.
Soon.
Take care, guys.
Music. We are DeOrganized Media, and thanks for tuning in. We'll be back at 9 p.m. to ring in the new year. I hope you all join us then. Peace out.